All right. So welcome. I just quick 15-minute talk on a few things that uh you can use, especially for freshmen or people who want to get better at time management. Just some apps that you can use to like get more organized and stuff. I know I showed the GitHub project boards a few days ago, and you can use that as well to like get organized as for your own personal kind of thing if you have a private repo. But this is the thing I use specifically, and it works quite well. So I thought I'd share at least. So let me show you the first two things we're gonna like go over specifically. So if you don't already use Google Calendar, I would start using that now. So if, for example, here I have all my classes, and I have on my phone, it'll always show me when my next class is, where it is, and I have a smartwatch, so it also show me that there. If you don't want to go through the effort of individually doing all of these, then XC registration.
Sorry for the sudden change, Isaac. Okay.
One moment. But essentially, if you go to XC registration and you go, I think to view my current classes, it'll tell you there's a like drop down somewhere saying, "Oh, export this to ICS." And then what you can do is you go to settings and then you click this, and then you go down to import and export. And then that file that XC registration exported for you, you can import it here and it'll show up on your Google Calendar. So you don't have to like tediously insert these one by one. So you'll always like know where your classes are and stuff. This is especially helpful in the beginning of the semester as you get used to like your new classes. This is my UIC account. Let me show you my personal one. So this is what my personal one looks like with all my assignments and all my exams and some of my personal events on there. But this looks very cluttered. But if you press W on your keyboard, you get a more comprehensive, not cluttered look at this stuff. So I do recommend putting your stuff in Google Calendar just to get more organized. And to um, to top this off, there's an app that this isn't specifically like a Google thing, but it's an app that I use a lot. It's called one moment. Yes, so it's called This. And I'm specifically giving this a shout out because I love this app. I have it on my. I can if you have an Android smartwatch or a Wear OS watch. I don't know if this is on iOS, but essentially, if you have all your things on Google Calendar, this also you can turn this into a widget and put it on your home screen. But it's awesome on my smartwatch. It'll tell you like what your schedule for the day is, and it'll tell you how long like your class is left and when your next class is, and et cetera, et cetera. So having all your stuff in Google Calendar immediately unlocks a lot of cool integrations with other apps that leverage it. So, for example, this app hooks into the Google Calendar API to show you all your events in this like really nice, comprehensive manner. And you can build your own apps as well. So if you just search up Google Calendar API.
Hey Angel, I can't see the app you're talking about. I can only see the Google Calendar page.
Oh, my apologies. Hold on. Yeah, I have it set to OBS to share my screen, but not on Discord. Thank you for telling me. I think it's the screen. Yes. So this is what I was talking about. So this app, I don't know if this is on iOS, but wait, it's still doing it. Hold up. Oh, shit. Apologies. Screen 2. There we go. I have like 4 monitors, so it like confuses me. Anyway, so this app I am specifically giving a shout out, not because it's a Google specific app, because I love it. It's awesome. So as I was talking about, like this hooks into the Google Calendar API and like gives you a good overview of like how long your class is left, when's your next class, if you have like a day long event. So it's just like a good way to overview your events, and you can have it on as a widget on your home screen, or if you have a smartwatch, this is especially like useful and helpful. And as I was saying, like this hooks into the Google Calendar API. We are developers after all. So if you're curious on how to make your own kind of things. Let's say you have like a Raspberry Pi and like a paper e-ink screen. You can like hook into the calendar API and like give it your own data, and then you can have it on your desk somewhere. I don't know. There's a bunch of YouTube projects on how to do things like that. So um, there's that. And the second thing, which you may have noticed, oh, you didn't get to see my personal calendar. Hold up. Where did you go? Here, this cluttered mess. Wait, yeah, so I was showing this off and I guess you couldn't see it. Anyway, so this is my personal one. And as you can see, I have all my classes and I have a bunch of my assignments there. And the way I put all my assignments there on the calendar, and the way I don't ever forget an assignment is as soon as someone gives me an assignment, I put it here. So this is my homework list. And whenever I'm given a homework assignment or like a test or anything, I immediately put it in here because anything that isn't on this list does not exist to me, essentially. So and Google, my Android phone, and I don't know about iOS, but Google will give me reminders and stuff. And since it hooks into the calendar API, oh yes, so on the calendar you can like set reminders about when events are about to happen. So when I go out to lunch, I have it set to give me like, oh, you have an hour left of this before your next class happens. So you can do that too. But specifically for Google Tasks, the way this works, so I have a little bit of a hack for this, where so Google doesn't, in their infinite wisdom, does not let you go to Google Tasks directly. What you have to do, and the way they want it, is you click this little sidebar and you click this task button, and then it loads here, which is annoying to me, which is why I just have the bookmark straight to it. But you can do it this way too. In fact, for some Google integrations, for example, let's say I click on, I don't know this. If I open up the sidebar, I can add a new task. I can, it'll set the details directly to this email, if I remember correctly. No, that's not the way you do it. You click this button, and then it shows the email here. As you can tell, I don't use this very often because I just have the direct open tab. But there are tiny integrations throughout the Google ecosystem to like insert stuff into here. So you can I can show you on this screen. So you can give it a title. Remember to show people vscode.dev at the web dev crash course event this Friday at 4 p.m. You should RSVP. Subtle shout out to that event on Friday. So you can have it here. You can give it a time tomorrow at 4. And this will show up on your calendar as well. So whenever you press, so you can have like a month. Nope, discard. You can have if you press M on your keyboard, it's a shortcut to look at the monthly view. If you press W, it gives you like your agenda view, things like that. And this has an API as well. So if you want to integrate this into your own stuff, there's an API as well for this. And just to show you that, yes, I do actually use this, there are 600 of these items from the last like 3 years that I've been doing this. So, it definitely keeps me on track for all of my assignments. And I don't ever forget these. Like as my freshman year, I remember not doing it. So back in the day, which is 2015 when I was in high school, they would give you these like paper agenda sheets. I never used those and I always forgot stuff. And then when I got into college, my first year I was struggling, because I didn't know any good time management skills. But I forget who showed me this, but I essentially started doing this. And this requires a little bit of discipline to like immediately put these events into this Google Tasks UI. But as soon as I started doing this, I basically never forgot anything again. And in fact, I do it for some personal things as well to just not forget it. And that shows up on my calendar as well. And it's definitely helpful. I would, if you want to get better at time management skills and you find yourself forgetting things, that I would definitely suggest or recommend this. Wix, Women in Computer Science, the student org here, recently had a Notion event on how to organize stuff as well. Uh, I say this because some of you may have different systems on, or maybe trying different systems. Like you're trying to figure out what your time management thing should be. My only suggestion as we come to a close, because I don't really have anything else, is pick one thing to put all your stuff in. So if you're a person who has Obsidian and Notion and your calendar and a paper calendar and your Blackboard, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you will quickly find that you cannot manage all of those things. So I would suggest sticking to just one thing, and my suggestion would be this thing because especially as an Android user and someone who uses Google Drive for all of my assignments and stuff. This very quickly, the Google ecosystem and integrations very quickly become helpful. So that was it. Thank you for coming to the Quick Bytes talk. So quick 15 minutes. That's what these Quick Bytes events are. I don't have anything else, but if you have any questions, then feel free to unmute, or any concerns or comments, et cetera, et cetera. I'll stay here for a little bit, but otherwise, thank you for coming. Have a great day.